Hello, everybody. Welcome to the BVD Center YouTube channel. And our programming today is Small Business Spotlight. So we are excited to bring you Carmen Hodnett, who I'm going to let her introduce herself and her book to you in a minute. And I'd like to also welcome my beautiful, stunning co host, Yvonne Lorraine.
Oh, thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you for having me here. As Sharon has said, I am Yvonne Lorraine with Innovative Visions. I am just so excited about spotlighting our business owners. So I'm just excited for today's discussion. You're in for a great treat.
Well, let me give you a little background about Carmen before I turn the mic over to her. She's a proud wife. She's a proud mother. Her professions include the following: a retired executive administrator, founder of Worker Bee Administrative Services LLC. We'll talk about that in a minute on another episode because I need a worker bee about right now. Carmen was born and raised in Brandywine, Maryland. She also achieved authorship for the book entitled Prayer, the Key to a Divine Relationship. Carmen, you have the mic now. Tell us the premise behind the book first.
The premise behind the book, first of all, good evening, everyone. I'm very glad to be here. And the book is about, basically developing your relationship with God. And, growing up through childhood, I seem to have that inside of me as a child where I used to, like walk to the school bus or whatever. And I would always just be standing there talking to God. And it just grew up with me. And so God put in my spirit, why don't you just talk to others about how they can come to me? It doesn't take all that they claim it takes. Just make it simple, like everyday life, so that they will understand exactly how he wants you to come to him. So that's set up the whole outline of the book, and it's just step by step.
Show us the book cover, Carmen. And I'm going to ask you to show it periodically throughout the broadcast. And I do have a question, and Yvonne, I'm going to punt it to you in a minute. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like how to have just a basic friendship with God where we can communicate in normal language. Did I get that kind of right?
That is correct. That is correct. God already knows you. He knew you while you was in your mother's womb. There's no polished up way. You don't have to, the church is a great thing. It's a good congregational type setting for socializing and building and growing together. So, but it's about you and your relationship with him outside of the church. And that is what is so important and what God wants us to look at as far as, okay, what are you going to come to me by yourself and just pour out to me? Even though he already know before you tell him, he just love for you to love on him and treat him as a person, your father, your friend, that is the ultimate goal where you can feel comfortable. You don't have to be dressed up, made up, just in your kitchen time, in your quiet time. Talk to him as if he is sitting right there, because he is, spiritually he is. So you don't have to go into bowing on your knees, getting up at an altar and all that. He's right there. Whatever room you create where you have your peaceful time, that's where he is. And that's where you can meet him at. You can cry. Nobody, going to look at you. You can shout. You can praise him. You can do whatever you want. in your private time with God. And building that relationship, especially in these days and times of what we're going through, we need that. You need someone that you can talk to that won't judge you.
Yvonne, would you like to ask Miss Hodnett some questions before I dive into the business aspect of her book and getting published?
Sure, I'd like to make a statement and ask a question.
Okay.
I do have the book myself as well. And the statement I want to make about it is that it is definitely an awesome, easy read. And for people like myself, if I'm going to pick up a book and read it, and especially if you're reaching out to those who may not already have that personal relationship with God, to be able to pick that book up and read it and be able to understand what it is that the author is saying and trying to take you step by step, she does that so very well in her book. So Carmen, I just wanted to ask you, even in that, what did you think about, or how to make sure that whether people know God or not, it's like to make sure that your book can speak to anybody.
Yes, and that came into mind first and foremost when I began writing the book. For people who has been seasoned Christians for 30, 40, 50 years, so on. And it's for people who are just starting out in their ministry with God and what God has them doing, their gifts, operating in their gifts as far as their ministry. And it's also for those who heard about God, but really never was a churchgoer, don't know too much about him. And the Bible sometimes scares people because they read and don't understand. And so God is basic. And you have to have the desire to want to learn of him in order to get started. And your salvation is the most important thing. So in this book, it's not about anybody judging what you're doing, what you're not delivered from, what the sins you're living in. God cleans you up. People don't clean you up. God cleans you up with your heart. He uses your heart and that spirit of conviction within your heart to help you grow. And as you grow, he reveals to you through his word that makes it so simple. You was like, oh, you know what? This is not bad at all. This is not complex.
All right, Carmen. So I have a couple of business questions.
Okay.
Okay, so I know that you used a publishing house or agent or something to that effect because you're not self-published, correct?
That is correct.
And tell me why you chose that route instead of the self-publishing route, and how did you navigate the process of getting your book into the stores?
Well, to be honest with you, Sharon, I started writing the book and then I was like, okay, what do I do next? And Yvonne had sent me a flyer from a long time ago. I didn't even know I still had it. And that page came up and I was like, am I supposed to go to these people? And, as some authors on their first book, you get nervous. Do you wonder if it's a scam? And things like that. So I prayed about it. And this guy emailed me off that flyer and I was like, this is it. Now
let me pause you 1 minute. Who was on the flyer?
It was their business.
What's the you want to give us the name of the business?
Yes, it is X Usalon.
Say it again.
Usalon with an X, ULON.
Okay. And, go ahead. I'm taking notes.
Okay. And so I was, people were telling me, well, Carmen, don't go through all of that. You can self-publish. And when I, Googled it and looked up all the things that you have to do, and I said, I'm not ready for all of that because I want to learn what they do to
Mhm.
get your book out there in order for me to learn how to do those things myself. So to me, it was a little complex. I'm not that much of a patient person, to sit there and then because you got to worry about your marketing,
What?
advertisement, printing, and
Let's
and your
stop right there, Miss
design.
Carmen. Let's
Huh?
stop right there. When we talk about marketing, and you spoke a little bit to the demographics of your book, that anybody who wishes to talk to God, find God, no matter where they are in their
Right.
space in life, can find it. So that was kind of your marketing niche, that it's not directed at one particular denomination or
Exactly.
gender. It's for everybody who wants to find God. So one, you had already kind of had your marketing demographics in your mind.
Right.
Now, how did we or you do the getting the word out kind of thing? What was the process in selling and getting the word out?
Okay. First of all, do your book release. Okay. These days, we're dealing basically and strictly with virtual. So it's much better doing it that way.
Okay.
You do your book release, that's putting the book out there, presenting itself. As the book becomes live, because it comes to light at that point. And, you know, they tell you through a publishing company, okay, you're going to be on Amazon, you're going to be in Barnes and Noble and everything. So you just keep feeding it to Facebook Live, Instagram, Twitter. You just keep it going. That's your part of it. You just don't depend on your publishing company to do
Okay.
all that, because the more they do, the more they're going to cost you. So I felt that instead of me going through the route of them doing advertisement, let me do my own advertisement and let
Okay.
them just put it into the stores where it needs to be.
Yvonne, do you have some questions for Carmen?
Sure. Because we did acknowledge, Carmen, that you did not initially go the route of self-publishing, and I'm sure you're going to be writing more books. Would
Yeah.
you consider self-publishing since you have been through this process now?
Yes. Yes. My advice is this: when you go through a publishing company, you know the ins and out of what they're doing to your book, because everything they do you sign off on. So,
Okay.
you know, um, like the printing, you can establish your own printing. You can design your own cover. My son did my cover for me.
Show
He
your book again to us, Carmen.
Yeah, my son designed my cover and everything, and God gave me this in a vision because I didn't know what I was going to put on it. And so my son was like, okay, Ma, a key is in there. Let's use a key. So he designed the key.
Oh, well, thank you,
Yeah.
Carmen. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. And there's never enough time for us to get all the nuggets we need. So you will be coming back, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. So if people want to find your book, purchase your book, or even reach out to you, where can they buy the book, and then give them your email address or whatever you want to share if they want to reach out to you?
Okay. They're on sale at Amazon.com. And if you just bring up my name, the book will come up with my name, or you can just put Prayer, the Key to a Divine Relationship, and it'll come up. Barnes and Noble, you can purchase it there. And it's also in the Apple,
Mm-hmm.
the books, where you can get it to, I'm not familiar with that because I like holding a book and reading it.
Yeah, so I can listen to it on audio.
Exactly. You can listen to it on audio. Now, if you would like to reach out to me, whether you want to just give me feedback on the book and how it blessed your life, or give me a testimony, I love that. You can go to wbaservices20@gmail.com. That is my business email address. And if you want to know more about the book, and if I may say, starting Wednesday, I will be going through the book like a Bible study type thing, talk to people with my book, show them how to be able to study and stand alone for themselves. So I'm really looking forward to that.
And
like
Carmen, not to cut you off, but where you said you're going to be doing it like a Bible study type thing, where is that going to be?
It's going to be on, I was getting ready to say
Oh.
that. It's going to be Facebook Live from 6:30 to 7:30. If you can't get to my page or need to know more information, you can hit me at that email address I just gave you, wbaservices20@gmail.com. If you would like to join, or make sure you have the information so that you would be able to see it. And I would love to just go chapter by chapter, like I said, a study group. And I'm going to continue every Wednesday all the way until the book is finished. So if you want a copy, email me at that email address also.
I got a
If you want
question.
to order it, by all means, order
I got
it.
a question.
With me.
I got a question, Miss Carmen.
Go ahead, baby.
What's your Facebook page name?
C-Car, CEECAR Mustang.
Oh, shucks now. So your Facebook page is CEE car CAR Mustang.
That's right.
And so that's where we're going to find you. That's where your video is going to be uploaded. That's where we're going to be hitting you up, sharing, liking, and making comments.
Yes. And they also can go on realwordforreal@gmail.com too to find information.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for showing up. Yvonne, any last words before we go?
No, thank you, Carmen. I look forward to the Bible studies.
We'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.